Hi, hello, and welcome. So, how does one draw the front view of the face? Well, this is just the way I draw it because I realize not a lot of people do this. I mean, it does have like a foundation somewhere. My guidelines do have a foundation somewhere, but like, not a lot of people do it. I haven't seen anyone who does the exact same thing as I do. But here's how I do it, just as an option. So let's look at the actual thing without a face. So it's basically a rectangle with a circle and a V. So there, that's basically all that it is. But then the entire purpose of this is for it to act as the plane of the sides of a three-dimensional object. Because, in order to properly draw a face, it has to be in your head. That this thing is a 3D thing, as if you touch your face now, you can see that your face is three-dimensional. So I like to think of it personally. I have an easier time thinking of a three-dimensional object as like a cube or a rectangular prism. Just because like I'm thinking of it like, how do you draw like a couch in perspective or like an object in perspective? You use a box guide thing. So that's the basis of that. And I find this very easy because I am able to relate it to the side view, so I could do the 3/4 view and the side view much easier. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on that sometime in the future, but for now, let's put this thing to the side and I'll show you exactly how I make the guide thing. So, first and foremost, you have to make a rectangle, and since I'm doing this digitally, I literally just took the tool. Oh wait, that's the circle. Okay. So, I basically just take the tool and then I make a rectangle. Yay! And then I take another tool and I make a circle. Yep. Another tool and I make a circle. Okay, there. And it has to fit inside the box. Circle has to exactly fit inside the box. So after which you place a line in the middle and you have to cut this rectangle into thirds, like top to down. Next, you split it into thirds again, but this time from left to right. But you have to note that it can't be perfect thirds. The upper third has to be slightly larger than the rest of the halves. And then you make a V from somewhere almost the middle of the face. So now where will the specific body parts be? So I'll just mark it off quickly. So the eyes are gonna be here. And the irises should probably be around where that cross is. The nose is above that lower line, and then the lips are in between the line and the circle of the curve. It could be lower, it could be higher. The chin is somewhere there, not at the exact point of the V. And if you're gonna make a nose bridge, it'll be somewhere, yeah, you understand. So, okie dokie. That is a terrible looking face. This mouth can actually be a bit lower if you want. You can move it around. The thing is that this isn't very exact because you're never gonna draw the exact same circle and the exact same rectangle, the exact same triangle V thing ever. So yeah. Okie dokie. So the ears are gonna be somewhere around there, and then the jaw, like that. You have to, yeah, for the jaw, you have to, it's almost like sculpting the jaw, and so on and so forth. The hairline's over here. Yeah, the curve over there at the top, that's gonna be the hairline. So there's a very disturbing looking face. So let's just undo that until it's gone. Ta-da! So now I'll make an example. I'll just do a random face. Okay, I'll specifically do an Asian lady with a relatively long face. The eyes are sort of close together, with masculine-ish, but not too masculine. So here's I go. And oh yeah, I'm gonna go use the symmetrical ruler just so that everything is like perfect. I don't have to take so much time making sure the left and the right are almost exactly the same. So this is all sped up. So you can slow it down if you want to see specific parts that you liked. Okay, so I took away the thing, and yeah, that thing. So you can see, you know, how it actually looks like. And so yeah, and I'll just go put it over to the side, so I could actually do something that you probably would rather see than this random Asian chick. Let's go do what you probably clicked on this video for. I'm gonna go ahead and draw Chat Noir and Ladybug, just to show you another example of how this face can be done. Another way of using it, this time with more stylized characters. Okay, so just to reiterate, the eyes are somewhere near the cross, the upper crosses. And what's good about these are is that even though it's not gonna be exactly there, usually this will help you get them to be, you know, like equal on both sides. Almost like, you know, the grid of a is that the paper? The grid of the math paper people use. You know, like if you don't have a symmetrical ruler. So yes, so nose, mouth, eyes, hair. Okay, so the chin. So for the chin, the jaw, I usually etch it, and I like using straight lines at first, just to figure out where the specific parts are, because like before it hits the bottom, there's usually something that it's not a straight curve. There's a little bit of a slant at the bottom, and then I just smoothen it out just to make it, you know, like normal faces are curved. Okay, this is something you can also do with pencil. It's not a digital thing, but like the plus point of doing it digitally is that you can erase it, almost like you're smoothing out the edges of like a piece of clay or something. Yeah. So I am trying to capture the style of Miraculous Ladybug, because my style is a bit more realistic, or at least it feels more realistic. The eyes I do are a bit smaller. But there's a couple of things I'm not comfortable doing when drawing a face. I sort of can't stand like putting a lower line under the eye, so I just turned it into lashes. And yeah, so I started to realize that the way in which to show emotions of these characters in the series is by the edge of their masks. And just to tell you and just inform you, that's also around the place where you should find the eyebrows. So ta-da! Done! Let's put this over to the side so we could go to Chat Noir. I'm still gonna use Ladybug's face as a template for Chat Noir because of the style. Their faces are very similar, and you know, the way they look like, they're very similar. But since he's a guy, and I decided to etch his jaws out a bit more so they're more angular, but not too much, since in the show his jaw isn't that angular even. So there. So yes, and I decided to give him an actual expression, because if I'm gonna color this, I don't want him to be staring to my soul the way I drew Ladybug. He's staring to my soul. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, expressions, they make you feel more comfortable. I'll probably change Ladybug a little bit later as well. So ta-da! This is Chat Noir, and I've decided to color them, both him and Ladybug. So yes. So although this isn't a video on coloring, I'll just give you how I do it. I usually flat, and because this is actually a sketch, this isn't the final thing. You see, I just drew it on the grid. I have to flat it manually, as in I literally have to put the colors and color all the pixels as opposed to selecting and then clicking or using a paint bucket tool, and it's a bit difficult. So I recommend, if you're gonna use to do actual line art, that you try your best to make it possible to use a paint bucket tool. So all the edges, there should be no gaps and so on. So I'm done with Chat Noir. Now time for Ladybug. And as I said earlier, I'm gonna go augment her expression so she doesn't look like she's glaring at your soul. So they look like they're interacting. I just gave her a nice little smile and stuff, and moved her eyes a bit. So okay, so here's another tip when it comes to coloring. Try your best to make things cohesive. So, Ladybug has blue eyes, right? She has blue eyes, and so it is advantageous to use blue for her hair. In addition to that, it's also advantageous, it would look cohesive for the blacks of her spots, if you use a reddish black as opposed to a true black, as in like a true gray, an all black. And yeah, ta-da! Ladybug is smiling at Chat Noir. I decided to draw these two for this video because I've fallen down that hole again. Every now and then I have bouts of like obsession over two things. It's either Miraculous Ladybug or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and now it's Miraculous Ladybug. I even ordered the Funko Pops for Ladybug and Chat Noir. So yeah. So this is my very first time doing a how to draw video, but if people are interested, I'll probably do more. So if you're interested in more content like this, maybe like do a comment and tell me. And also tell me if you're commenting, like if it actually worked, if you're actually able to draw a good looking face from what I told you. But sometimes I feel as though this sort of thing, it's maybe just a personal preference, maybe it's not helpful for anybody else. But at least I placed it out there. So yes. So if you want to see a bit more, like, comment, subscribe, and in general, thank you for putting up with me. Thank you very much for watching.